let's begin the class. This is supposed to be the first meeting. No, the second meeting of week 6. But last time we discussed about exam 1 solution, right? So we are in this period, okay, where we will discuss disturbance rejection. Some of them we discussed already. Dominant poles also we discussed it, yes. And then effect of zeros on the transient response, system type, Routh-Hurwitz stability criterion, root locus. So those are the materials for your exam 2. In week 6, I'm hoping that we can discuss all of this. Okay. The first one is the Bode form, and then effect of extra pole, extra zero. Do you like extra points?
Yes.
So this is extra zero, extra pole. Let's see. Yeah. Extra.
Oh my god.
And then this one actually we discussed already, yeah. Designing a controller to reject a disturbance. So basically, if your disturbance is constant, you can reject it using PI controller at least. PID is 7 better. Say that again? Yes?
When is the winter weekend too, sir?
Supposed to be at the end of week 10 or 11.
This is next month.
Yeah. Next month.
End of week. What's that? End of the end.
End of week 11, I think.
So when we learn that.
No. When we finish root locus, then we have exam 2. Okay. I want to remind you on your project, which due when is it? 15 October or 18? I think 18, yeah. 18 October
For the first stage, sir.
for the first stage. Do you still remember what's the first stage? To manufacture this whole thing, not just a paper design, but then you have to make all of this. And I split the group into 2, yeah, remember? And then each group has 3 groups. So how do I say it?
Subgroup.
3 subgroups. Yeah. So these 3 subgroups, you have to work together. Okay. Saya nggak mau tahu lah pokoknya.
So the three groups have one design.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
But
When it
because
becomes
one group, there's three systems. That's it.
We only have 2 systems. Yeah. One system created by 3 groups. The other system created by another 3 groups. So you will have the 3 group will have the same chassis, the same controller, the same battery, but then you will design the algorithm for controller on your own. Yeah, that's the only difference. So I'm expecting that in step 1, the 3 groups will have the same grade if you work together. But I will grade you individually. Okay, I will ask around who's idle member. Yeah, I will ask that. So be active and then finish the product. Yeah. Any question on the project? 18 October. How long? 2 weeks from now? Yeah, 2 weeks. For the chassis, you also have to install the propeller controller. Yes? Yeah, it's given. No, not given to you, but lend to you. When I say give to you, then you bring it home. Okay. The first topic is the Bode form. What we have here is the standard transfer function, which factored out on the denominator. Yeah. P1, P2, Pn. What are those?
Zero.
Poles, apples.
Yeah, these are the poles. Okay. The B0 here is just a constant. So let's say we assume the numerator is a constant. This is called the Evans form, not the Bodo form. Yeah, this is called Evans form. An example of it is a transfer function that we see a lot. We see it already. Yeah, these are all in Evans form. What do you notice here in Evans form?
S problem.
That's no, not power of 1. Yeah?
Yeah.
The highest power of s in the numerator or denominator, the constant is
Lower.
the constant is 1 in here. Yeah, the constant for the highest power of s is 1. Okay, s times s square, right?
Yeah.
And then s square has constant of 1. So that is Evans form. Evan is a person name, yeah. Bodo also person name. Bodo, not Bodo. Okay. Right. If we do this, do you know what we are doing here? Yeah, we take out the poles. Take the pole out, and so we will obtain this form. This form is called the Bodo form. Take out the pole, you will get the Bodo form. Yeah, take out the pole.
Is the pole.
Say it again.
Is the pole.
These are the poles. Yes.
So like that S plus 10, S plus 7, take up the 10 and the 7.
Yes.
We don't take up the S, but take up the 4.
Say that again.
We don't take up the S, we take up the 4.
Yeah, you take out this number 10 and 7, you take it out, you have this. Okay. What do you notice? What's the difference between these two formats? Huh? P?
What does P mean? What guys?
P.
P strict.
Not that one. What's the difference? Yes. What's the significant difference? Huh? No, not that one.
We get the
No, you see, in Evans form, the highest power of s has constant of 1, right? Meanwhile, in here,
one. Less than one.
no,
Power of F is 2. Yeah, that is
not that one. Plus constant 1. The lowest power in here is 1. Okay, that's the difference.
The lowest.
The lowest power. The lowest power. So in reverse, in the Evans form, the highest power is 1. Has constant of 1, I mean, yeah. Highest power in Evans form, the constant is 1. But in here, the lowest power is constant of 1.
S0 or F?
S to the power of 0. We don't have S power of minus 1. No, we don't have. If it is S power minus 1, move it up, right? You move it up, move it up. Yes.
Semua yang pakai 0
Satu.
So what is 0 power of 0?
Boleh.
Okay, let's move on. An example. What?
Itu the lowest one. So can be more than one.
Cannot.
So
If it is Bodo form, the lowest power has constant of 1. Yeah, you see.
konstannya masih satu sob. Konstannya masih satu.
You see here, Sobri, you see here, this is S square, right?
Yeah.
What's the constant on S square?
1/3.
Okay, this is not necessarily 1. Okay, it can be 0.1, 0.3, it can be any number. This is S, yeah? To the power of what? 1.
1.
Why so long? 1.
1.
Only one harakat, yeah.
Yeah.
You said 6 harakat already. S to the power of 1, okay. Well, what's the constant here?
Constant. Like one.
Yeah, what's the constant?
1 over 2. 1 over V2 plus 1 over V2.
Yeah. So is this 1?
Not
The constant here, is it 1? Not necessarily, yeah. But it can be 1. It can be, but not necessarily 1. But what you see here is S to the power of 0 multiplied by 1. Yes. Yeah, S power of 0 is 1.
Oh, gak kelihatan jadi. Oke.
Okay. Anything to confirm again? Clear? Bener, nggak bisa nanti ujian loh.
That's the big answer.
What?
What is P2?
Itu have a complex conjugate. It's just a notation for complex conjugate. So what we do here, this is the Bodeau form of this transfer function, yeah. So we take out 10, yeah, and then we multiply the whole thing with 1 over 10.
Whole thing.
The whole thing below here.
How about the numerator? Also has
No. The numerator in here is not affected, yeah. We take it 1 because 5 over 10 move it to the left. Okay. Yeah.
I assume we have 2 zeta over omega n is 1 over 10.
Say that again.
We have 2 zeta over omega n is 1 over 10.
This is the first order.
Can the form?
This one?
Yeah.
No, this is for a general system which is third order, but we are working with first order system. So this is third order system. Second order, right? You multiply with first order, become third order. No, this is first order, no zeta, no omega n. Say that again. Only time constant, yeah. What's the time constant? 1 over 10. Masih salah aja hitung time constant kalian. Ya, clear?
So that one.
Okay. I think this is still not clear. So if you have 5 over s plus 10, how do you convert into Bodeau form? You divide the top by 10 and the bottom part by 10. Okay, s plus 10 you divide by 10, so it becomes 5 over 10 s over 10 plus 1. That's it. So how this form becomes the last part? What do I move it? Which one? Yeah, I move this one to the left, yeah, to the left side here. So 5 over 10 multiplied by
1 over.
Okay. So that's how we do it. So nothing changed because I just multiply the whole thing by 1.
You just put up the 10.
Yeah. Yeah, still question? No? You still have question. You will know later. Okay. But even after you know the reason, can you guarantee that you can work on it?
I mean,
Yeah, as long as you understand, that's fine then. Okay, let's have an example here. This is the Evans form. What's the Bodeau form? It's this one. What about this? 4 over 17. And then
1 over 7 and
okay. So let's do it. 4 over this is 10, 7. Okay. We have to divide by 10 and 7, right?
Yes. 10 and 7.
10 and 7, like this.
Oh, then plus.
Multiply, right?
Oh, multiply.
Not 17, but 70. Yeah, 70, right? Okay. Or if you the one, if you confused with the number 70, yeah. Okay, like this. And then in here, you divide by 10, and then, okay. What's next? Ini ke depanin, sini. Sudah. Okay. Abi kan 70 ya.
1 over S per 10 plus 1 times S plus 7 plus 1.
Okay. So this is the border form. So, what for? We don't want to. We are not going to find out the partial fraction. No, we are not looking for that.
It is possible for us to put it to advance. Do we need it?
You need converting from border to advance? I don't know. I don't think so.
It's good.
No, converting from border to advance, you just have to multiply everything by everything in front of the s, right? So make the power of s become 1. So not so difficult, I think. What about this? What's the border form? What?
Yes.
Do we need the
Huh? Sorry?
That's
Yeah, we need to make the last part here become 1. So what do we do? Yeah, we divide everything by omega n, yeah? Yeah, top divided by omega n, which is this, and the bottom part you divide by omega n also.
So even though this second form is Say
Say that again?
even though it is on second order form,
Yeah.
still possible from Evans to Bode.
Of course. You can,
simply divide the last number.
yeah, now if I have third order system, let's say I have
Yes.
so how you do it?
Divide by 10. Divide by 10. Yeah. The 10 square. No, 10. Huh? 10.
Plus 1.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is already in the border form. Ah, okay, 0.4. Oh, 0.4.
We can only just write it like that, right? No need to factorize it.
No need. Unless you have to find out what's the time constant, what is the natural frequency, then you have to divide.
So from this form we cannot know anything.
From this format, later on you will know something from this format. Okay. So the main thing from the border form is that you make the lowest power to become 1. Okay.
So we need to change it general format.
Yeah?
We need to change it general format.
No need.
Different things.
So bagi 10 ada. Kalau divisi
Let us discuss what is called as the DC gain. Okay, DC gain. DC gain, you never heard that before. So this is the first time you heard about DC gain. Can you answer this? What's your answer? For the first system, what is the steady state value? Huh?
0.5.
Okay, this group 0.5. Sobri group, what's the steady state value? Alright, do you agree that this is the 0.5 steady state value of this? Agree? How do you get 0.5? Yeah, remember the final value theorem? Okay, so you remove this,
Terus S jadi 0.
That's right.
and then you have,
5/10 terus jadi
okay, that's what. And so what do you have here? Yeah, so that's the difference, yeah.
Steady state.
Oh.
What about this part? What is the steady state value? This one? Okay, yeah, you learned something lah.
Oh, that's the steady state.
Yeah. If it is step input, so DC gain is the steady state value of a system when it is subjected to step input. That's called the DC gain. And you can obtain the DC gain by just looking at the constant in the border form. Okay. Yeah.
Why is the input 1 over x?
Comma, this is comma. Yeah, even though this is a formula equation, I still have to say it in a sentence, right? Comma and full stop is still there, yeah. Okay. Let us discuss about the dominant poles. Still remember dominant poles? Okay. S plus 15, and then 3 and 4. What is the poles for the second order system?
Wait. For group 1, kompleks banget, kita kompleks number.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Wait. So the root is minus 15, minus 1.5, minus 3.2 EI, and minus 1.5, minus 1.3 EI.
Okay, so the imaginary part are the same but different sign, right? So you can say it's minus 1.5 plus minus of the imaginary part, yes, times I. Okay. So basically, these are the situation, yeah, on the poles of this. So which are the dominant poles? Clearly this one, yeah. So this is not dominant, yeah. And then how do we approximate this into a second order system? We want to make an approximation, yeah, to the second order system. How do we do that? Approximate this system into a second order.
S squared plus 3s plus 4.
No? Okay, what's the first step? The first step is that you remove the higher order pole.
Yeah.
What's the higher order pole here? This is this one S plus 15, we remove it. And so it becomes like this.
Okay.
However, I note a P here, not 1. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's one, the
Oh,
steady state
What do
will
you- Yeah, okay. So you have to match the steady state value. Yeah, between the approximate system and then the original one. Yeah. So what is the P here in that case?
S plus 50 was it?
No. We are not doing eliminating S plus 15 with S plus 15. No.
We're just taking it away.
Just taking it away, and then you replace the P with a constant. What's the constant on P? Huh? 1.5. Can anyone do that on your paper? Compute P, and then can I see the answer?
Do we need to find the steady state value
From the original one? Yes. So the steady state value of the original function is what? 1 over 60. And about the approximate system, what's the steady state value?
1/4.
Not 1 over 4, but P over 4, yeah? So this must be the same with P over 4.
1/15.
Yeah, P is 1 over 15, correct, yeah? Good. Plus 1, yeah? So P. The answer is that P has to be 1 over 15. Too slow. The original one, 1 over 60. Yeah, and then the approximate system is P over 4. So we have to match the steady state value.
So why do we need the
What?
Why do we need
The dominant poles affect the transient response significantly, dominantly. It will dominate the transient response. Meanwhile, the higher order pole, you will not see it in the response because it is too fast to go.
Still confused why we take away S plus.
Because it goes to 0 very, very fast. Yeah, faster than the dominant poles. So the dominant poles will dominate the transient response.
The one that we take away is the less fast one.
Yes. Yeah. But if they are close with each other, you cannot remove.
How close?
If it is less than 5 or less than 10, less than 10, yeah, you cannot. It will be too visible the effect. Yeah.
So we choose which one to eliminate based on the poles, not based on the highest order.
Based on the poles. Yeah, not on the highest order. Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see. Okay, students, you check on the complex plane here. Yeah, minus 15 is the furthest away from the origin. Yeah, and then in here minus 1.5, the difference is 10. That's enough for you to eliminate the minus 15.
So the S plus 15 will dramatically affect the system.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. So yeah, 1 over 15. Yeah. What if we use the Bodo for?
60 of 1 over 60. 1 over 60. S over 15 plus 1 plus S squared plus S.
Yeah. So if you use the Bodo form, That's the Bodo form already, yeah. So we approximate the system. If we use the Bodo form, we approximate the system by just eliminating the higher order without having to recompute the P there.
Why is it called the error?
Ah, yeah. Okay, do you understand what's going on from here to here? Yeah.
Why is it called? Why is the exclusive thing called the higher order?
This one?
Yeah.
What's the pole on this? Minus 15. It's the same the same pole on this, right? So when you convert into Bodo form, does the pole changes?
Oh.
So that's the reason, right?
Oh.
I don't understand. Okay, on the previous slide, which pole that we eliminate? So in here, the same, right? Also we eliminate this, and that's it. What was the question?
My question was, why is it called the higher order?
Not higher order. The faster falls. I mean,
Oh. So what this means is we can use Bodo form to quickly approximate the function from the order to zero.
yes.
Only for that, sir.
Huh?
Only for that.
No. There are other reason, yeah, which we will see in the Bodo plot. Let's say, yeah, Bodo plot later for exam 3. So you will see a lot. The constant over here that will affect the Bodo plot.
I got the last. What are we?
We are discussing about finding the dominant pole, Sobri,
Okay.
and we are using the Bodo form on it.
We finding the dominant pole.
Yeah, that's it. We are finding the approximate transfer function by using the dominant pole of the
What does it
system.
mean?
Approximate means not exactly the same, but almost the same. Approximate. It's almost the same with the original system, but with less order on the system.
Why we want to find that?
Huh?
Simplify the system.
That is correct, to simplify the system.
So that can be neglected.
The higher, the faster poles can be neglected. Yeah, faster. This is fast.
Not the one negative 1.5.
No, slow. The closer you are to the origin, the slower the pole is.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we want to use the negative 15.
Now we eliminate the negative 15.
We eliminate the fast.
Yes,
We
the
want to
fast
use
we
the
eliminate.
slow.
Yes, because the slow that is showing up on the system's response.
Dominant and slow. We eliminate the less dominant.
Okay, let's say your cohort has one that is fast and one that is slow, right? The one that is dragging the whole cohort is the one that is slow.
Oh, dragging hambat.
Yes,
Okay.
so that's the dominant response of the system, determined by the slowest one.
Oh.
Okay, Sobri, let's say I have a train of car, okay? Train of car connected by, let's say, a chain. So many cars. So many cars, yeah? This one can go up to 400 kilometer per hour. Okay, but this one can only go to 250 kilometer per hour. Yeah, somewhere in the middle, let's say this one can only go to 80 kilometer per hour. It cannot go faster than this. Cannot. This is the fastest this car can go. So this is the slowest car in this train of car. Okay, let's say you want to pull it or you want to push it, cannot go faster than this. No, this is my condition. Let's say you have a Toyota Avanza. Let's say Toyota Avanza, the top speed is 180 km/h. Okay, if you pull it using, let's say, what car are you familiar with? Nissan Sefiro, let's say. Okay, that can go up to 250 km/h. You can pull the Avanza, right? You can, but in this case, you cannot. Even though you pull it with faster car, it cannot go faster than this. Yeah, for this case only. So what will be the speed of this train of car? What's the speed?
The maximum speed.
Yeah, of this whole thing.
80.
80. Why?
Because cannot go more than 80 on the last.
Yeah, so this is the fastest pole, fast pole, and this is the slowest pole. So the slowest pole determine the speed of the whole system. That's the same thing with this. Huh? Yeah, because you multiply the pole. Okay, it's different if you add the system. If you add the system, that's a different story. But this is you multiply.
That's why we use this tool so to make the point of the system.
Yeah.
So because we cannot make this slow, we can do faster.
Okay, Sobri, can you differentiate which one is a fast system and which one is the slow system? Is it the red one or the black one that is slow?
Slow. Black is slow. The red is slow.
Why slow?
Because it is
Longer. So this is the slow one. Okay. So you imagine that this one is the S minus 15, S plus 15.
very fast.
It is faster, yeah. And this is the slower one. So the system's response will be determined by the red one, not the black one. Okay. Okay. Example on this. Can you work on it? Yeah, write on your paper first. Okay, you write on your papers.
My patient last night.
Okay. Sobri, any problem?
Step function.
No. Not related to step function, yeah?
I thought you need find the steady state calculus.
No, approximate, yeah.
Or the negative one.
What?
The negative one.
This one? Yeah.
You want to calculate. Like I say the negative one.
No, not. The answer is not negative 1. But the pole on this is negative 1, this is negative 2, this is negative 30.
The slowest is the negative one.
Negative 1 and negative 2, they are slow.
Approximate plus function is 1 over 1.
No, you have to include the S plus 2 in this case. S plus 1 and S plus 2, they are close together. So you cannot separate them.
That's
S plus 30, you remove this. Because that's the very fast. Compared to these two, they are very fast. No, I'm asking you to find the approximate transfer function only. Not finding the pole.
So the S plus 1 can follow the S.
Follow. They have relatively the same speed, okay? So you have to include them together in the approximate transfer function.
That's very different.
Yeah, the difference is too small.
the gap.
The gap can be neglected. So s plus 2 and s plus 1 must be in the approximate transfer function. Okay.
But example that is s plus 15 and s plus 1. So only s plus 1.
Only s plus 1.
How we determine that there is close gap and there is last?
If it is more than 10, yeah, more than 10, it's fast. If it is less than 10, it's better if you include them together.
Wait, more than that is the gap, like
Yeah, let's say if your system is s plus 9 and this is s plus 2, yeah, we cannot eliminate s plus 9,
still less.
still less than 10. This is 4.5 times of this. You say in multiple. 9 is 4.5 times 2. Okay. Not 7 from 2. No, not like that.
Yeah.
The multiple of it. Okay. We say in the multiple of it.
So if the gap is more than 10 for the multiplier,
Yeah, then you can eliminate the fast one. Okay, what's the result? Huh?
First one is 1/1 SI plus
Why over what? 1 over what?
over half S squared.
1 over half. Why 1 over half?
Okay, 1/1.
Yeah. Yeah. Total 60. Oh, okay. Yeah. 1 over 60, 1 over half s. Yes. That's the answer. And then that one. Okay. 1 over. Yes. And that one. Yeah. Okay. One over 60. Yep. No. You have to remove one of the pole. You haven't removed.
Oh, di remove.
Yeah. Okay. This one okay. This one correct also. Yeah. This one is correct.
That's right.
Yeah. That's how we do it. Any more answer? Your answer? Yeah, that's correct. This one correct. Okay, but the method is correct. Done. Wait. Why S over 30 is there? This one? No, you have to remove this one is in Bode form, okay, but you approximate it by eliminating the fast pole.
Yeah, it's
The fast one is S over 30 plus 1. This is the fast one. Why is it still there? The way to do it is not like that. Yeah, you first go to the Bode form and then you approximate like this.
Oh, and then I get this and then di sampingnya. Tapi dapat poin.
No, you do it again. Where's it, Nathan? Y over 40?
Yang mana cek? Yang mana?
Who said 40?
20 times 2 times 1.
Not 20, it's 30.
Oh, 60, sir.
Question, sir. This Buddha form always second order.
No,
We
Depends.
make it second order because the approximation.
yeah, because it is an approximation.
So if there is a word approximate, we always make it second order.
No. You make it into the dominant one.
Oh. Jadi kalau buat desert, dia kurangin satu aja. Kalau
Not necessarily.
kurangin sampai dia cuma dominant word.
Kan?
Jadi kalau misalnya ada
Wah.
S sama juga dua
What the form?
hilang.
Yang close to each other.
Oh, you multiply them
Yeah.
already.
Oh iya. It's per number two.
Ah, 3 and yeah, correct.
Itu level.
Yeah, you remove the 1/50, right?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
For the third, I remove
The 20. Yeah. Oh, this is Stephen.
Our group.
Oh, that's your group.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Yeah. Yeah.
So first we need to find the approximate steady state. Very old system.
Using border form? No need. You convert into the border form, and then you just eliminate the first one. That's the final answer. Okay, the border form. Step by step. Border form first, and then you remove the first one. The last one is this? Why is it one equal? Why using the P again? You convert into the border form first, like this.
But this is in part two. How can I explain it? It's imaginary.
No, you just take out the 9 and then the 20, right?
So 1 over 20 times 9, right? So 1
Yeah.
over 80.
Yep. And then over here you divide by 20. In here you divide by 9.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. But so this is wrong.
That's wrong.
Berarti nggak usah dikali ke dalam tuh.
Hah?
Nggak usah dikaliin S plus L plus 1 ya.
Which one that you have to multiply?
So the way of my working is pertama buat form dari yang S plus 2 plus S 2 plus S plus 1, right? Karena kita dapat yang depannya.
Yeah,
Terus
you just leave it
S
like
plus
that.
nanti you remove it, and then I multiply the S plus.
Why
S
the
plus
P
1.
is there? No need to find the P. Just use the border form. Okay, students, let us conclude. Okay, we take it too long. This is longer than I expected. I thought it will be fast, but it's slow actually. Yeah, so that's how the dominant pole work. Yeah. Let's see the first one. If you want to do it in border form, then that means you first express in the border form 1 over 60, and then in here, and then in there, and then in the end S plus 1. Okay, and after that you say it like this: approximate as 1 over 60. We remove this because that's the first one, yeah. And then you just write down done. Yeah. So without having to find for the steady state value, no need. Okay. Let me discuss the last one. The last one, you have 1 over 180, yes? And then in there, this is, yeah. And then 1 over 9. And that's it. you have to approximate. Yeah, approximate, you remove this and it becomes 1 over okay. This is the fast one. Yeah. After you get this, if you want to multiply them again inside, it's up to you. But this is already in the approximate system. Okay. But if you have to represent in Bode form, then leave it like this.
So equation with
I'm not sure. I never have that kind of question in the exam actually. Yeah, maybe I will have one if I see like this. Good idea. Okay, about dominant poles. Yeah, so many of you are, yeah. Let's say we have pole here, -1, -2, -3, like this. Can we approximate this system? No, we have 3 poles, right? Why not make it 2? Sure, yeah? You sure?
Yes.
You're not sure? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, for it to be, eligible for removal, to get the dominant pole, yeah, if it is more than 10 times of the pole that you have over here. Let's say in here you have a -10. Can we remove this? No, yeah. This is still less than 10 times. 10 times of this. Now this is still the dominant pole over here, yeah. Okay. If it is 100, can we remove this? Yes, that's for sure. Yeah. And then if in here, if we have a complex pole again in there, can we remove them? Complex pole, but around here,
just ignore the eye.
we cannot ignore the eye. What do you mean by that is that only the real part matters, yeah? Yeah, the speed of the pole determined by the real part. The imaginary part will determine the what? Can anyone guess? Yeah. Let's say you have the pole over there and then the pole over there. Same real part. Okay, but what will be the difference between this? Huh? Damping ratio, correct, yeah. Let's say this is A1, this is A2. The damping ratio for A2 compared to A1, which one is bigger?
Hey, what? Wait.
I have A3 here. Which one is bigger? Damping ratio. You don't know, yeah? Okay, let us see. Let's say you have a system of okay. So what is the roots of this? What's the roots?
B minus 2 zeta omega n.
And then plus minus.
Square of B square omega square.
Huh?
4 zeta square F4 zeta square omega n square. Yeah. Yeah.
We square it
Yeah.
minus
4 1
omega n square.
okay
Over
over 2.
2a.
What is A?
1.
Just 2, yeah. So in here we have the real part, zeta omega n, and then plus minus, this is a half of the square root of, okay, you say 4 zeta square omega n square minus, okay, we take out the 4 and then 4 omega n, yeah.
Yeah.
Zeta square minus 1. Okay, so what else? Yeah, it becomes
Omega n.
2 and then multiply by half,
Yeah.
it's just omega n, yeah. The square root of zeta square minus 1. However, if zeta is less than 1, special for the zeta less than 1, yeah, it becomes what? Imaginary, yeah. 1 minus zeta square times I. This is for 0 to 1, zeta from 0 to 1. And then let us plot the poles here. How do we plot the poles? That the real part is minus zeta omega n, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so this is minus zeta omega n. Imaginary part, so this is omega n. And in here also minus omega n. So you can see this, yeah. If this theta small, what happened with the zeta?
Beta small, zeta small. Bigger dong. Ya, bigger dong.
Okay. Yep. If the theta in here is smaller and smaller, then the zeta is bigger. Yeah. And if the pole is at the real axis, if pole is at the real axis, then what happened with the zeta? Zeta is either critically damped or overdamped. What happened when it is critically damped? Zeta equal to 1. What else? Double roots. Okay, you see here, it becomes double roots over here. If it becomes overdamped, then distinct roots. Maybe some is here, some is there. Yeah. So that's what happened if you only change the imaginary part. Damping ratio changes.
So is it A1, A2 or A3?
Just now, which one? The one that has bigger damping ratio is A3. If you compare this, just now this is A3, this is A2, this is A1. A3 has the biggest damping ratio among these three. Okay, that's the biggest damping ratio.
Because it has the lowest theta.
Lowest theta. Okay, they have the same speed of the pole, but then damping ratio, the bigger one is A3. Okay. Any problem on this? Distinct root, you have different roots. Example is this. This is the example. Distinct root. One is -5, one -6. That's distinct. This one, complex roots. And then what's your question?
Kalau misalkan distinct roots, zeta would be
Distinct roots, the zeta will be greater than 1. Yeah.
oh.
Okay. Confusing faces.
So,
Yeah.
Why the zeta square minus 1 become 1?
Because in here zeta is less than 1.
1?
Yeah, if it is less than 1, then this value will be negative over here, right? If it is negative over here, I make it into I, and then I make it into positive number in here. The same thing when you have what is the square root of -4.
Why?
It is 2i, yeah. So you take out the minus, and I comes out, or the square root of -5. This is equal to square root of 5, but multiplied by I. Yeah.
But the one is supposed to be
Which one?
from that equation.
This equation?
It's -1, but it can be +1, right?
Yeah. If we assume zeta less than 1, then the number inside the square root is negative.
Or the entire thing.
The entire thing is negative. Okay, and then we make it into positive here. I take out the I here.
If zeta bit less than 1, the root becomes negative.
Yeah.
So that's why we take out the I.
Yeah. Okay, Reza?
That's the case for under them.
Nah, this case is for under them. A1, A2, A3, these are all under them.
Yeah. That's why we have what?
Not this thing, bro. Complex root.
No, the complex root.
Complex means you will have an oscillatory response. Yeah, oscillatory response, sine and cosine appear. Okay. Make it simple, no oscillatory, then you design it without damping. Do you see what happened with this door? Do what? What do you think? Are you going to design it over them, under them, or critically them? Critically them. The reason is that
So it have
So it's constant for us.
Oh, it have high constant yang tanpa overshoot yang
can anyone go outside there? The elevator. To the elevator there is a door, right? No. You try out. You try out. Give initial condition and then release it. What is the damping ratio there? Is it more than 1 or less than 1? Anyone remember?
Glass door.
Glass door.
Under one.
Oh iya gini. Enter there.
Okay, why you think it has to be over there?
They don't break.
It goes
So there is no oscillation.
Yeah, one oscillation.
Yeah, the first thing is that you don't want it to oscillate. However, if you put it to be over them, response will be slow. Too slow, yeah. If it is over them, it will be too slow. Critically them is good or close to 1 lah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is overly under them. Oscillates. not so good, but high damping material is expensive, yeah, you know. Okay, it's expensive. High damping material is expensive. Okay, what else to discuss? The portal, parking portal outside. Is it over them or under them? Anyone remember? Huh? Okay, can you take video later? Show it to us.
Addition point.
Yeah, additional point.
Oke,
Kita atas nama satu kelas. Semuanya plus.
Yeah. Actually, the next topic is break my 5 minutes, but we don't have 5 minutes for the break. So I want to discuss a little bit on the effect of transient, extra pole and transient response. You see what happened here? If we have a transfer function, which is a combination of second order system and a first order system. And this is in what kind of form? Border form. This is in border form, okay? And then in the complex plane, we denote that the real part of the second order is zeta omega n, yeah? Agree with this, yeah? Zeta omega n, yeah? And then the pole of the first order is 1 over tau. Okay? Of course, minus in there. But the distance from the origin is 1 over tau. And in here, the distance from origin is zeta omega n. 1 over tau is the distance of the first order pole from the origin. So actually, we can view this system as a second order response which you apply it as an input to the first order system. Yeah, you understand? Okay, because we multiply them together, we have this. Okay, so what do you think will happen? First order system response is like what? Just like this, yeah. It's like this. If we give it a step input, going like that. But if we give it a second order system that is slow response, yeah, you see. Step input goes like this, yeah. That's the step. However, the second order system response to the step input is like that. So it has a delay to get to the steady state value. It's like I say, Sobri, get up. Okay, compared to get down. Sobri, get up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the illustration what's happened. If I give a very quick command to Sobri, then I give it a step input. But if I delay my command, it's like I'm giving it a response of second order system. So the response will be even slower compared to the standard first order system. Okay. Then what happened is that if the first order system is so far away, okay, if the pole of the first order system is far away from the second order system, then we can neglect it. Yeah, we just have it as the dominant pole. Okay. However, if it is too close, less than 10, yeah. If the first order system pole is less than 10 times of the second order pole, then you see you have to take account on the first order system to compute the overshoot. So this effect is just discussing about the effect of the overshoot. Yeah. So generally, what will happen is that if the if the beta here less than 10, nothing will happen to the second order response. Yeah, the overshoot is still the same. Okay. However, if beta is less than 10, beta less than 10 means over here, yeah, over there, then actually your overshoot will become less. Yeah, it will be less overshoot for you. Okay, let's say if you have a second order system like this, overshoot, let's say 50%. Then you add a first order system close to it. The pole is close to it. Your overshoot, which is 50%, it can be reduced by, let's say, to 20%. You reduce the overshoot, but then your response will become slower. Okay. I thought that we can simulate the system with Simulink maybe next week, yeah. But an exercise is this. So I pre-compute the omega n zeta of the second order system as this one. And then I can get the overshoot to be 52%. Okay. However, because the beta here is less than 10, yeah, this is minus 2, and then minus 0.6 is the zeta omega n. Yeah, it is less than 10. That means the first order system is going to affect the system response overshoot. What do you get here? The overshoot becomes 20%. So that's the result. Okay. Yeah, that's the effect of the extra pole. Yep. Only, yeah, this is only for the second order system. Without the first order system, 52%.
So if we calculate the order system, we get 32.
No, 20%.
20% each.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
that's the ratio between the first order system.
Yeah. Real part of the pole. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we'll continue again on next week. I hope you can do this in Simulink. So I will share the lecture notes later. Can you do it in Simulink? And then you set the zeta to be 0.2. Then you adjust the extra pole. Yeah. See what happens. Yeah, yeah. So I'll see you again on Monday.